Boom. And boom. Here we are. Just trying to upgrade some freaking gear. Nailed it.
make us lower our guard.
Okay. Going up. Crucible, Rumble. Let's go. Here we go, here we go. Also, if anyone hears the guitar outside, it's the guitar guy is playing and he's been doing it for hours all day apparently and he doesn't stop. So, apologies for that. It's just the way it is here in the city. Doing some free-for-all. Gonna get beat down.
Rumble. Every guardian for themselves.
Ah. Alright, great start. It's a great start. Love to see it. Hello. Oh, the same guy. Oh my god. Okay. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Oh, my aim is such shit. My god. What? Okay, I got two teams. It's fine. That's fine. Fucking shotgun piece of shit. Oh. No, why? Leave me alone. And honestly, obviously they're not gonna leave me alone. It's not the point of the game. Is shotgun really the meta? Do we really have to do shotgun meta right now? Because that's really fucking annoying. If we're just all gonna shotgun meta this shit. I hate it.
5 minutes.
Hate it, and I hate all of you who do it.
Your enemy is pushing for victory. Punish them for it.
I was in the middle of something. I got sniped. Sucks. But so do I.
Three minutes. Your enemy has defeated you.
Shotgun pitch.
Defeat is a lesson. Learn it well. Then fight again.
It hurts. It hurts. Clash. 6-on-6.
Clash.
That's an interesting gun.
Nothing to help you but your team and your weapon. Fight!
The lag. Fuck you. Ah, behind me. Off.
"5 minutes. Could go your way. Could go theirs."
All these fucking charge guns, my god. Fuck.
3 minutes remaining. That shut them down. Enemy down. One minute. Seconds. Ten seconds. Defeat comes for us all. Stand tall, Guardian. This battle is lost, but there will be others.
Rough.
elimination. If a teammate falls, pick them up. If an opponent stands, bring them down.
Fudge.
Your teammate is alone. Let them focus. One opponent left. They don't stand a chance.
Not good.
Only 1 minute left.
Rip.
The match isn't over yet, Guardian. Rally and fight! The score means nothing. Eyes forward. Teammate is alone. Let them focus. The match isn't over yet, Guardian. Rally and fight! The enemy is ahead, but you can change that. Only one enemy remains.
Woo! Let's go.
Catch their breath. That was inconceivable. Opposing team eliminated. You're a force of nature, Guardian. The enemy is ahead, but you can change that.
Fuck. Over shield.
Only one enemy remains. Don't let them catch their breath. Only 1 minute left.
Get him.
Opponents neutralized. Simple and clean. We have a tie. Break it. Teammate is alone. Let them focus. They won this round, but don't let it throw you.
Ooh.
You can win the next. Adapt. Overcome. This round is yours. Only one enemy remains. Don't let them catch their breath.
Woo! Got him.
Can you taste that? It's called victory. It's a close game. Tip the balance. Only one enemy remains. Don't let them catch their breath. Tell them to line up faster.
Got him.
Do you hear that, Guardian? I don't either, because there's nothing left of them. Match point. You can win this. Show me. Only one enemy remains.
Woo!
Don't let them catch their breath.
Hell
A
yes.
coordinated team is a happy team, Guardian. I can see those smiles from here. You could cut the tension in that match with a knife, but you kept your focus. Incredible.
Oh, that feels good. 13 kills. Let's go. Okay, good map, good map, good map.
Elimination. If a teammate falls, pick them up. If an opponent stands, bring them down.
One down. Damn.
Only one enemy remains. Don't let them catch their breath.
I'm teamed up with the two guys that I smashed last time. Sheesh.
All enemies down. Your team stands victorious.
I got a kill.
You're ahead. Break away. No one left but you. Who cares? You have everything you need to win.
Yeah, do not.
The match isn't over yet, Guardian. Rally and fight. This tie won't last for long with you in the match, Guardian.
Aggressive.
One opponent left. They don't stand a chance.
Got him.
The opposing team is in ruins. Magnificent.
Magnificent. Hell yeah.
The lead is yours. Don't let up.
Warlock's out. Fuck that guy. Or one of the warlocks anyway.
Only one enemy remains. Don't let them catch their breath. One
Ha!
opponent left. They don't stand a chance. And then there was one.
Oh, come on. Do not let them revive. Do not let them get the revive. Do not. Oh, fuck. We're doomed. We're doomed. Son of a bitch.
Learn from your mistakes.
How could you let me get the
The enemy
revival?
paid for that one.
How? How? What do I have to do, guys? Killed all three of
It's
them.
a close game. Tip the balance.
This tying back and forth bullshit is not good. I want to win outright. Can we stop with the lag? I fucking saw you, bitch. You didn't think I saw you, but I saw you. You didn't think that I saw you.
One opponent left. They don't stand a chance. You're the last one standing. Show them what one guard.
Woo! Let's go!
All enemies eliminated. You
Yeah.
are inescapable. Your team leads, as expected.
They're gonna do that bullshittery over here again. Fuck you!
Your teammate is alone. Let them focus.
That's one.
They won this round, but don't let it throw you. You can win the next. We have a tie. Break it.
Break it. I'll try my best, Shax.
Teammate is alone. Let them focus. They won this round, but don't let it throw you. You can win the next. The enemy thinks they've won. Use their confidence against them.
Against them. Fuck you.
Only one enemy remains.
Get him! Get him!
Let them catch
Let's
them.
go! Good job.
Opponents neutralized. Simple and clean. This is it. This is where glory is found. This is how legends are made.
That's one.
Your teammate is alone.
Shit.
Let them focus. There's a lesson, Guardian. Study it and try again.
That's not good, dude.
Humility is a necessary trait for any warrior. You will grow from this, and next time, it will be different.
Oh, good. "13 kills again. A lot more deaths this time around. It's okay.
Elimination. It's you or them, Guardian. I think I know which it will be. Team is down.
Oh, fuck.
Fight in their stead.
I said wall.
Down. That's all right. Stand up and fight again. The score means nothing. Eyes forward. Your teammate is
Wow.
alone. Let them focus.
Good stuff, guys. We did great.
You didn't come here to lose, Guardian. Show them what vengeance looks like.
That's rough.
The score means nothing. Eyes forward. Your team is down. Fight in their stead.
Yo.
Yo. Hello, hello.
You're the last one standing.
Ah!
Show them
Ah.
what one Guardian.
No!
Yo, Unsung.
Hello?
You're all down. That's all right.
Hello.
Stand up and fight again.
I'm talking. Hello. Oh my god.
Your opponents have the lead. Don't let it rattle you.
Hello? Hello?
Yo.
Jesus.
What happened?
I don't know why it was doing that.
Did you mute your Discord?
No.
Oh, alright. Cool. Alright.
It also, like,
Yeah.
when I started Streamlabs today, I had to reset my mic and my desktop audio.
That's weird.
It's super weird.
Anyway, how you been? How's Crucible going?
It hurts. I've had a
Yes,
couple
you
of
remind
Enemy remains.
I've had a couple of okay
Don't let them
rounds,
catch
but
their breath.
but mostly bad.
Not
Um,
one single opponent
I've been doing
standing.
3-on-3s right now.
Utter thrashing.
I tried a free for all, and then I never did that again.
Your opponents have the lead.
Well, I'm
Don't
here to
let it
remind
rattle
you
you.
that I will not make anything better. In fact, I will probably make things worse. So welcome to it. But you know what? Misery loves company.
But at least I can talk to someone. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm gonna type a message in the Discord.
Are you?
Sonic is
Does my
here
stream sound
to make-
work on the stream?
Yeah. I just checked on YouTube.
And
Yeah, I
then
can hear
there
myself.
was-
That's
Yeah.
good. That's great.
Yeah. Which was disorienting for a second, always. Alright, what can we do other than Crucible, hey?
I mean, we can do like other stuff. It's just like I like that Crucible's so fast paced. I feel like strikes for me get so tiring because they're so long.
Okay, I feel like we did better with the strikes though, or yeah, it wasn't just.
Well,
us
yeah, I
getting,
mean,
like,
fighting AI is
entire-
always easier.
always easier, but also like yeah, there's more.
Except
of
for
a
the
sense of
people like
progression.
who fight us, it's probably harder for them to fight AI. To be honest.
Maybe, who knows? Break even more or less.
Yeah. Well, we're about to lose, so this won't take long.
Yeah, let's do a strike, just hopefully not against the witch again. Because we did that twice on one stream.
We're not gonna lose, are we? Oh, maybe we are actually. JK. There's a lot of turnover happening.
Wow, whatever that is over there sounds exciting.
They have their full team guarding our revives. I don't think our last guy is gonna get it.
One minute left.
Oh, is it
Failure
is it
is a lesson card.
Vanguard?
Study it
Is that what it
and
is?
try again.
The Vanguard strikes.
Humility is a necessary trait for any warrior.
Shucks, I don't need to
You'll
talk
grow
about
from it.
humility.
And next time,
Okay.
it will be different.
What we gotta do?
Alright, I'm in
Alright,
orbit,
join-
so you can join
your
me.
fire team. Yep. Got it.
I don't know what. I want to find like a fun strike instead of leaving it up to random.
Yeah, rather than well, yeah, because if we leave it up to random, then there's the odd chance that we we get a repeat. All right. So what's going on? Are you starting the Wrath run on Saturday? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I thought maybe you were starting it. Wait, is that the day you're starting it?
That's the day we're doing character crafting and all of that.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And then how long do you? Yeah, I'm ready. How long do you expect it to take?
I don't know. Depends on how good of a discussion we all have about character stuff and.
I just mean the run in general.
Oh, the run in general. Whew. I don't know if I'm generally doing it 3 days a week. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna. I mean, we're doing the DLC, so that'll add time, but at the same time, it won't be the first time of me playing, so a lot of stuff will take quicker time. Hard to say. Yeah. Hard to say. And then after...
Okay.
I know that one of the things I want to do after Wrath is Jedi Fallen Order. If I can. I have a lot of things in the air right now.
Are you gonna be playing Jedi Fallen Order or just on PC?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you do everything on PC, not on Stadia though.
No, I have Jedi Fallen Order on EA Origins.
Nice.
I got it for free with Prime Gaming on Twitch.
This stream is sponsored by
A different platform.
yeah.
So I got that, and then Mediocre Mondays will continue, Baldur's Gate will continue because that's gonna be a lengthy series.
Yo, Shane did a bang up job with the thumbnail for Mediocre Mondays. My God.
Yeah, it's so good, right? It's crazy. All the characters he got on there and everything is insane.
Yeah. And you started with fucking Apex Legends, right?
Yeah, we spun a wheel. Didn't really get a say in the matter.
I mean, but it's such a good choice.
Apex, honestly, it's been pretty. It was pretty fun the first time
It
we
was
played
fine. Like, it handles fine, right?
Yeah, it's not a bad game. I just don't like battle royales. But like, if I was
Right.
gonna be forced to play a battle royale for all of eternity, I'd probably pick Apex.
Oh, really?
Because like all the
'Cause
other ones are so like kiddie or just super one note, and I feel like Apex is like lots of different characters to unlock and things like that.
I think I just do the COD Battle Royale mode.
I don't like COD.
Because COD... Okay, honestly, like, in terms of, like, gunplay and mechanics, it's a lot better than shit like Fortnite, obviously.
I like shit like Destiny, Halo, and Apex where you're like a guy with like powers and shields and all kinds of shit rather than just a dude running around with a gun. Because I don't like having to rely that heavily on my reaction time. So I feel like in Apex you can plan scouting and like see people coming from a mile away.
Okay. I kind of see what you're getting
I
at,
feel like
yeah.
COD is very much a if you see them first, you'll probably kill them kind of game a lot of the time.
Kind of. If you've honed your reflexes and your...
Yeah, if you're not bad, yeah,
When you
right.
like a waterfall of
Yeah,
sex.
basically, yeah.
Milk. Yes, that's milk.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I won't deny that.
Luckily, I'll never have to play a battle royale that long ever. So
Ever, yeah. But yeah, it's interesting. So it's mediocre Mondays. It's not, you know, worst games of all time series, right?
No.
You know, there's
I mean, yeah, and really the mediocre comes from us playing them.
oh, like you guys aren't very good at it.
Yeah, like we're not playing games that we've really like played. Like there's
Right.
some on the list that they've played. There's some on the list that I've played. But a lot of the games are just free-to-play games that we know we're going to be bad at.
Yeah.
And then we added some, like... They told me to add Minecraft on the list, but I played Minecraft in high school when it was free. So I didn't know you had to fucking pay for Minecraft now.
Uh-huh.
And I don't own Minecraft. And they're like, we just assumed everyone pretty much owned Minecraft. And I was like, why the fuck would I own Minecraft? I don't play Minecraft. Have you ever seen me play Minecraft?
Isn't like the primary demographic of Minecraft like 9-year-olds? Why is it not free to play anymore? Microsoft sucks.
I don't know. It was free. In high school, we all had it because it was free as hell.
Well, as it should be.
It's not. It's like
Not that and
it's not that involved of a game. It's just fucking Minecraft.
yeah. But you know what sucks is like I'm like Microsoft sucks. Microsoft ruined everything. Microsoft took away the free-to-play model. And that's true. But then Notch is like a fucking neo-Nazi. So the world is just a nightmare. The world is just a horrible, embarrassing nightmare, and everything sucks.
The nearby Vex constructs maintain that
That's the moral of the
I
day.
could have. Okay, we'll shoot them.
Did you know about that, by the way?
What?
Notch is like super racist.
What's Notch?
Notch is the creator of Minecraft.
Oh, I thought the creator of Minecraft was Mojang Studios.
Right, but he was like the director.
Yeah, like I said, I played Minecraft in high school, so
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it these days.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about its origins, but yeah. It got bought out by Microsoft for like literally $1 billion or something like that. It's insane. Or I mean, Mojang Studios, not just Minecraft. Yeah. And then yeah, I think they've made some changes to the way it's structured since you played.
Damn.
But yeah, that's silly, right? I mean, I think it's cool. I think Minecraft is cool because it's like Legos for, you know, but you never run out of Legos. Right?
Minecraft's
Just
cool.
build infinitely.
I just don't have like the patience or like 3D type of creativity to like build anything cool.
Yeah, like I don't have that kind of art skills or whatever, but I think it's really cool. It's really cool for kids to have it.
Oh
right?
yeah,
and adults. I'm not trying. I'm like, well, like adults building.
I think
like, that's what you like.
kids can definitely learn shit from playing Minecraft. Totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not my cup of tea. Hopefully, when we play it, we'll play survival, because I feel like that's a little bit more my speed.
It's more your speed, but it's like objectively the least interesting part of the game.
I mean, we're definitely not gonna sit there and build cool shit.
Build stuff, yeah.
Like Zach and Chaotic might build cool shit, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna build like a dirt hovel or a basic ass treehouse. Call it a day.
Fuck you. Yep.
And then realize that rain and spiders make treehouse bad, and then not build treehouse anymore. Because spiders can just
rain and
spawn.
spiders make treehouse bad. Can you name the first episode of Minecraft that?
Yes.
That sounds great.
Yeah, so we'll see if we land on it. I mean, they'll have to get it for me if we do, unless it's way later on. Depending on how far away it is. If it's far away enough, I'll be able to buy it. If it's like the next game that we spin on, I'm not going to be able to buy it because I bought a virtual tabletop software, and I promised I wouldn't buy anything else until the summertime.
Alright.
So, because I'm also going to buy the Wrath of the Righteous DLC when it comes out. So, that's my
I'm on a similar kind of probation. Like, I can't make any major music purchases. Like, I got some, like, small stuff recently, but there's no way I'm going to get, like, a new guitar or, like, synthesizer or something anytime soon. So, like, I feel ya. We all have our crosses to bear as the petty bourgeoisie.
Yes, yes, yes.
Just enough disposable income to be able to buy shit like this. We'll never own property.
Friendly suggestion.
I mean, I have a lot more disposable income if I didn't want to invest in our future at all. But if I'm considering investing in our future, then we actually have, like, almost no disposable income ever.
Yeah, you ever get paid? It's like, yay, money. Okay, all of this goes away, and now I have, let's see, one night out. Okay.
When I was playing Rumble on here earlier, which is like the free-for-all PvP, I quickly discovered that the meta for winning Rumble is to have a shotgun, and everyone had a shotgun but me, so I was like, yeah, I'm done with this. Because everyone's just running around one-shotting people with shotguns.
Okay, I kind of know what you mean by this, but, you know, say that you're old and out of touch and bad at games, right? Just hypothetically.
Yeah.
Can you explain what a meta is?
The meta is like
Cade got stuck stealing
the knowledge about the game outside of the context of the game that you use to be good and win.
0.0001%.
Yeah, so the meta is like, if you know how to beat the game based on like what weapon you should pick or like what skill you need to have. Like in Pathfinder Kingmaker, the end of the game, it's a lot easier if you give all of your party members blind fight. Does it make sense for all of them to have blind fight RP-wise? Absolutely not. But the meta is, if you have it on everyone, then all of the archers that hit people with gaze attacks can't hit you with gaze attacks. And you will be invincible for like from the main debuff in the entire ending of the game. So, it's meta. It's using meta knowledge to be good.
Whoops. I'm probably
so, which I don't encourage most of the time, especially in actual tabletop.
Yeah, in actual tabletop it's a problem, but then DMs can balance for that kind of thing.
Yeah. But it's like,
yeah.
We're trying to get going on like a live stream, the live stream D&D thing. And I've already got players like multi-classing and choosing specific feats that they want. so that they can have specific abilities that their class otherwise couldn't grant. Which is like part of building a character, but like they're not doing it for RP reasons. They're doing it because they want things.
Right.
Which is kind of like,
this is
I don't know. It's an aspect of the game, but when when most of your build is that way, I find it kind of lame.
and this is related to something called min-maxing. Can you tell us about min-maxing a little bit?
Min-maxing and optimization is building your character to be good rather than building your character to be fun or make sense.
I hope this
Yeah,
is safe.
and specifically,
Cabal
so
don't need to stick the land.
really we're talking about point build, right? Point build. Pathfinder uses point build, right? Most of the time.
Yeah, the standard for Pathfinder is the point buy.
Right. So the standard for D&D is just rolling for your ability scores, and then the standard for Pathfinder is point build. So min-maxing would be intentionally minimizing certain stats and intentionally maximizing other stats,
Yeah.
right? And then the real problem that you get into is that this can create a problem for RP. So like if somebody chooses to have an intelligence of like 6, right? If they completely minimize their mental stats and just maximize their physical stats, well then, you know, a character of intelligence 6 is going to be very different from a character of intelligence 14. Right? It should be in RP, but then a lot of people just kind of ignore that because it's like, well, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to act like I'm, you know, what, mentally challenged? Like, that sounds like it could get into really awful and cringy and fucking offensive territory really fast. So, obviously, nobody's going to hold you to that to make you do it. So, basically, what it means is you've manipulated your character in a certain way to maximize your, you know, output in combat, which, and that's the biggest problem, right? Is that it views these games as combat and loot. Which is so antithetical to what they're about, right?
Completely the opposite of what they're about.
Yeah, if you want fucking combat and loot, play any video game.
Yeah, seriously.
You know? This is about RP.
And this is what's great about groups like Critical Role, who like the story is like the most, if not all of like what they care about.
Yeah, they don't really care about mechanics all that much.
And whatever their characters get, like the players, whatever their characters get leveling up or whatever, they utilize in like combat and
Story
RP the right way.
Yeah.
It's important to them.
Because then that's min-maxing is you minimize certain stats, maximize others, and then don't really think about the implications in terms of RP.
Yeah, when people use terms like dip this class or dump this stat, I'm just like, it just makes me hurt all over listening to it.
I kind of like these dogs.
Like in one of the things that people do in the video game is like, well, it's super easy if you're not a charisma based character because dumping charisma, like charisma doesn't do anything else, so it's such an easy dump stat. And it's like, okay, your character becomes the leader of a fucking kingdom and you have a charisma of 5? How do you lead anything?
Yeah.
How does anyone listen to you? You probably sound like you're just fucking farting and talking out of your ass the whole time. Realistically.
Yeah.
But the game's pre-written, so people are like, well, I can get away with it because the writing is what my character's saying, not what I would say. It's like, it's so fucking stupid, pisses me off. That's why I don't support it in my videos.
I think, is it fair to say, wow.
But now when Pondor does it for speed running, that's obviously a separate thing because he's trying to just get through the game as quickly as possible.
Thanks, man.
RP means nothing to the speedrunner.
God damn it. I knew it was going to happen. Where is he?
Get ready.
Oh.
This is the final fight area here.
Okay.
We're gonna fight waves, and then the boss, and then waves, and then the boss.
Great. This thing's design looks a lot like an Eva from Evangelion. A lot like an Eva. My goodness. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Evangelion?
Yeah.
Is that an anime?
Switching guns.
Yeah, it's an anime from the 90s. It's like a classic anime. Yeah, kids and giant fighting robots fighting aliens. Like, yeah, classic anime. But it's also like very existential and psychological. Very dark. Often kind of depressing. It's a great show. But yeah, the mechs in Eva, which are called Evas, look a lot like this guy, or rather, this guy looks a lot like the mechs. That was a wave? That's considered a wave in this game? I don't think so.
Fuck you!
Yeah.
Got him. God, I forgot how much I'm used to like playing on these on nightmare mode with Shane.
Oh.
So like when we like are destroying bosses, and I'm like super doubtful it's actually happening.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
No, honestly,
What?
honestly, that wave, I was like, wait, what? Is this real life? Like, what? That just happened immediately.
Golden Age computer core, and that's all she came up with? I could have said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing I wanted to ask you about was, so you talk about the meta of certain games.
Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about exploits? What are exploits versus cheat codes or cheats?
Okay. So there's three things. There's exploits, there's cheats, and then there's like bugs and glitches, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a bug and glitch is a pretty much always unintentional thing that you can do that obviously the game is not meant to do. Thus the phrase like bug or feature, right? And then you've got cheat codes, which is like actively putting in like basically some type of coding thing or some type of thing into the game that's like alien to the game itself, or doing something to the game's code or whatever. And this goes along with the idea of mods as well, pretty much. And like altering what the game is in essence to make something happen for yourself. So like when we all used cheat codes on our Pokemon Game Boy games back in the day with the Game Shark, that was you using a third-party machine that put code into your game to give you lots of things or give you rare Pokemon or a bunch of Master Balls or whatever, and therefore you're cheating. You're not doing what the game was designed to do.
Do you think that there's a difference between using a Game Shark and doing something like putting in, up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start, for 30 lives or whatever, right? Like where those are programmed into the game?
Yes, I think it's different.
There is.
Yes, that's
Okay.
what I'm getting into with exploits. Exploits
Okay.
is usually one of two things. Either it's something hidden that the developers designed intentionally that people can figure out, and I know Pondor could talk to you about those kinds of exploits within Kingmaker. There actually are things you can do that are exploits that bypass certain things in the game that are designed to be there intentionally for any players that figure out how to do it. And then there's the exploits that are not necessarily intentioned or intended exploits. Like they're not intentional, right? From the developers in mind. Like they didn't go in and was like, this will be a cool exploit. But it's also not necessarily a bug. It could be something, it's clearly the code is fine. Clearly the game is doing everything that it's meant to do. You've just discovered a way to do something that basically works within the game's parameters, but like is something that probably shouldn't work within the game's parameters in a certain sense.
Kind of an oversight a little bit.
Yes, like an oversight. So that kind of thing is an exploit.
Okay.
So like, and this isn't to be confused with like meta things that are just good ways to play the game. So like,
Okay.
in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, you do a lot of like running around the map, right? And when you run around the map, you get fatigued and whatnot, right? And so getting fatigued and being able to have like a paladin's first lay on hands thing cure fatigue is a great decision in the game, because you can travel a lot more on a game that relies on like across the map travel, but it's not an exploit. It's completely designed to be there. It's completely a part of the game and a way to play. It's a good idea a lot of the time, but that doesn't mean it's an exploit. An exploit is something a little bit more.
It's a strategy.
Yeah, it's a strategy, right?
Okay. So then, yeah, what would be an example of something more like an exploit?
An exploit. So the intentional exploit I was talking about in Kingmaker is that there's, in the first chapter of the game, there's fogs of war that you can't bypass. But if you go through if you try to go through, a conversation will pop up and it'll tell you to turn around. There's a way to click past that to make the thing disappear without you actually turning around, and then you just keep going forward across the map. And that is an intentional exploit put into the game by the developers that you totally can do. It's representative of the way that a party can completely go off the rails of the adventure if they really wanted to, or skip ahead to certain parts if they completely ignored certain parts of the game in an actual tabletop scenario. So that's the real thing. And then there's also, in the tabletop adventure for Kingmaker, there's a door that leads to this dead realm thing. And in the tabletop adventure, you can get into it by casting darkness on it without having the keys. There's no darkness in the game, but they use the spell Bane instead, so if you cast Bane at the door, it will open even if you didn't go through the quest to get the 3 keys.
Okay. Alright, and that's not, it's not supposed to be like that.
That one is also like an intentional exploit. They did it like the tabletop. I don't know off the top of my head unintentional exploits. I think Pondor would know for sure.
Gotcha.
But I don't off the top of my head for those.
Okay.
I just know a lot of strategy stuff and a couple of the intentional things, because he likes to talk about like, this is really cool and so broken. It's like, yeah, and the developers totally meant to put it there, which is hilarious.
They broke it that way, yeah.
Yeah. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm sure there's different people that have different definitions for things, but like,
yeah. I think that should be a relatively
yeah, it's pretty basic enough to be relatively safe way to go by it.
Yeah. I think maybe the only my definition of min-maxing would be the only thing that would be kind of controversial for the people who are, yeah. What's the term? Is there a term called like power players or power carriers?
Yeah, they're power gamers.
Power gamers. Yeah.
Power gamers care about being good and winning, and that is it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And sure. The pejorative. Yes. We've had folks who have power gamer-ish tendencies, but generally have gone with the RP first sort of sensibility that we go for.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been a problem historically, right? And like, I don't have a problem with people scouring the books, right? Or, just like finding out a lot about how their class works and stuff like that. That's great. If that's wonderful. I think, yeah, the problem is, are you finding out about how your class works, or are you just viewing this as this, yeah, like in this really reductive capacity as this just play to win, right? Which that sounds funny. It's like play to win. Yeah, of course play to win. But not exactly. Play to, you know, experience a story or be a different character, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I would say, like, I mean, I've definitely built characters in tabletop before where I'm like, I really want to be effective at doing this thing. And then I completely make up RP to go along with it, but my RP is usually, like, sound. I don't force it or stretch it. And if I couldn't absolutely make it work, I would find a different thing. I wouldn't, like, stick with it just to have that mechanic.
And we all, yeah, I mean, we all like having our stuff work or coming up with a new tactic.
Yeah.
Like that, right? Or, yeah, if you're, especially if you're a caster, right? Scouring the spell books to find something cool.
Right.
Right? In a given situation. And, like, I've strategized to be a caster a lot. That's cool. That's something you want to do.
Yeah. I already know
so,
I'm
yeah.
gonna have a tough time with, not like a tough time in a bad way, just a tough time in general with the, like, party that I have for this live stream game.
Cabal usually
Because I know that, like, 3 of the people are people who, like, want to build their characters to, like, be good at things.
Yeah.
Like, I've got a person who's, like, we're starting at level 1, I think, and he's, like, planned out kind of how he wants to level up his character throughout his levels. And he's got, like, he wants to, like, multi-class into, like, 3 different classes. Like, he'll have 3 classes.
And it's like, yeah, like, how do you justify that?
Yeah, and it's like, why? And he's like, well, there's, like, you know, I wanted a couple levels of rogue because I wanted uncanny dodge, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
But like, how does that work?
Does it make sense for your character? Yeah.
Yeah, when people level up in multiclass, I'm gonna make them have, like, a downtime or RP reason for that to work. You can't just be a class because you want to be a class.
Yeah.
Haha, I used my special on that ship.
Yeah.
Got him.
Almost. Okay. One. Nice. Okay.
I love destroying the ships. It's always optional, but it's always fun.
Oh yeah, no. It's a good choice.
Anytime you play a shooter game, if there's, like, ships that you can shoot that maybe you're not meant to, it's always a good time.
Halo and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Those carriers.
Yeah, and, like, I'm not, like, complaining about them as players. Like, they're playing the way that they've always played. You know?
Yeah.
It's just how they are as players. And they're my friends, and it's gonna be a good time regardless. And they do care about RP for sure.
Okay, that's good.
It's just not the character building, like, priority. But yeah, I mean, like, if you want to take a couple of levels in the rogue, you need to tell me why your artificer has a couple of levels in the rogue.
Yeah.
How did you get
have
that?
it sort of come up in RP. Yeah, multi-classing especially. Yeah.
Especially with, like, his character is a gnome artificer who's an investigator of the city watch and is, like, lawful neutral. And so it's like, tell me how you became rogue.
Yeah.
If you're, like, a part of the city guard, tell me how.
Yeah, if you're lawful, how are you a rogue? Exactly. Yeah, that's
And, like, rogues obviously aren't alignment locked, but it's like, rogue has a specific definition. So if you want the abilities but don't want to RP as a typical rogue, or rogue by any of the archetypes sense, then you need to find a different way to make that work for you. Because there are rogue archetypes. I'm sure there's one that could fit his character.
Yeah.
But it's like, I need reasons. I need justification for everything your characters choose leveling up. Because you can't just choose things and call it a day.
Back into the
If I say that someone has special
We're
snowflake
coming for you,
syndrome, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
He's got a lot to answer
Yeah.
for.
You know that kind of personality where it's like, oh, but my rogue is different. Oh, but mine is arcane trickster plus blah 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 and blah blah blah, right?
Yeah.
And like, yeah, they just got like 100 different like,
I like
you know,
this place
subtypes
better
and
when
stuff
there
like
wasn't
that.
a
Yeah.
cabal tank.
Or yeah, they're just
Why would
saying
they
it's
put
like,
a tank inside
Yeah.
the ship?
I'm like, all right, here's
on,
where I'm
buddy.
gonna get really
Don't let
controversial.
up, fire team.
I think that changing the requirements for Paladin, where it's not alignment locked, was a mistake. I think it was a cave-in, and I think that it takes away from the color of it. That now Paladin is just like whatever.
Yeah.
Fighter with magic.
I'm totally with you. The one thing I loved about Pathfinder First Edition is that, like, Druid, you had to be some kind of neutral. Paladin, you had to be lawful. If you were a Barbarian, you had to be part chaotic. Like,
Nice.
that's really cool. It makes fucking sense. Barbarians can't be lawful. You're a barbarian. You can't be a lawful person who rages. That's not how that works. So I love the alignment restrictions and things that like restrict you being able to use stuff in, like, you have to have certain RP elements because it just makes it more fun. It's like fleshing out, it's giving you parameters to work with.
It gives the character a flavor.
Exactly.
You know, if everyone's just gonna be like an edgy badass, right? And every single class can be that way, then like there's no flavor, there's no like party dynamics to kind of play off of.
Exactly. We're totally on the same mind there.
Okay. I thought you would push back on me on that. I thought you were gonna be like,
No way.
Man, it's way better to be able to have different
It's one of the
deities and
reasons
stuff.
why I like Pathfinder as a system better than D&D.
Better than D&D, okay.
Yeah.
I
Pathfinder.
just like how user-friendly. I know Pathfinder mechanically has so much customization ability, but D&D is just like very user-friendly.
Oh yeah,
and
it's
then-
super user-friendly. There's a reason why we're streaming 5e instead of Pathfinder.
Yeah,
It's so that
very
people
easy to
don't get
understand.
lost.
Oh, good, another one. Yeah, and another thing is that I do that you know of, Shane's called me out on this before, is something called Rule of Cool, where, yeah, 5e technically actually has a lot of restrictions, and I'm just like, fuck that, I had an idea.
Guardian down.
Yeah.
Okay, to be clear, as a DM, as a player, I don't say, like, fuck the rules, I've got to do something cool. Like, no, I don't do that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the rule of cool makes sense. I mean, I feel like when we play our group, we have a few homebrew rules that we kind of just all agree on are better than the 5e standard.
Yeah, so one thing about that, in 5e, you can't technically, you can't critically succeed on
A skill check.
skill check. Yeah, you can. But lots and lots and lots of DMs homebrew it where, or just house rule it where a natural 20, you'll succeed on whatever skill check that is.
I
right?
mean, they do that in the Dimension 20 online D&D show as well.
Yeah, but in the rule book,
Yeah.
there's no such thing as a natural 20 in terms of skill checks, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
In the Pathfinder video game, like, it gives you an automatic success for a natural 20, but you don't do anything special.
Okay.
That's
But
it.
it's still an automatic success. Okay.
Yeah.
Like theoretically,
Because like
there- well,
a natural one is an automatic failure.
critical failure. Okay.
Yeah.
It is an automatic failure.
Yeah. Like you could have
For a skill
15
set- for a
you could
skill
have
check.
Yeah, you could have 15 points in a skill and the DC could be 16, and if you get a natural one, then you fail.
For a skill check.
Yeah.
Okay, and then with a natural 20, it's an automatic success?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, all right. So that's closer to what I thought. I thought it was like, no, man, like, yeah, let's say we got a DC 10, you have plus 10 to skill.
Yeah.
You roll a 1, doesn't matter. That's 11. It's
Because
just
I've
numbers
tried
at
to
that
disarm
point.
traps
No-
in Kingmaker, and if you critical fail, then you fail and like the trap will blow up.
Okay. But that is that any different from the trap, what the trap does if you fail, you know, on a 2 or a 3?
Technically in Kingmaker, you can continue trying if you normally fail, but I think in Pathfinder you have to fail by a certain amount to get the trap to trigger in the actual rules. So maybe the natural one being an automatic failure is just saying you automatically succeed that amount no matter what kind of thing or something. Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, we always do stuff for that. I mean, I like to feel it out. Like, if it's a pretty tame skill check or just like an obligatory thing, it's not going to get something special if you nat 20 every time. Depends on what you're doing.
Oh, wow. You succeeded. Woohoo.
Yeah, like if you're trying to climb a
Yeah,
wall.
perception or something, yeah.
Like, if you're trying to climb a wall, maybe a natural 20 will make it to where you don't have to roll again for a while if it's a tall wall. But, like, I'm not going to say that you just, like, fucking no-feed it, just, like, hands-only climb it or some shit. Like, we're not extra, okay? But yeah, like, if you try to Arcana check something, you might nat 20, you get, like, an extra, you might find out some extra details or something like that.
Right. Okay.
Just, like, stuff that makes sense for getting a unrealistic roll on the die. Holy shit, nat 20, baby.
Statistically, yeah, right, nat 20 should be a little bit of an event.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
And
like a
then-
nat 1 should be a little bit of an event.
The other thing we usually do is that in 5e, you're not supposed to get a feat at first level. So,
Yeah.
but like,
Except if you're human, right?
yeah, unless you're a human. But like, feats at first level are so fun, and they help flesh out the character and give some like
They do.
detail.
Yeah. That's probably my least favorite thing about 5e is what they give the cheats. Yeah.
I like the feats in the sense that they kind of give you a, like, you don't get them as often as you do in Pathfinder, but they aren't like small little things. They all are like big things that kind of develop your character in an RP way as well. But in Pathfinder, your feats are either going to be like combat feats or RP feats, and they're going to be small, but you get like 10 of them no matter what class you are. Then some classes get more.
Yeah.
So it's like, you get more feats, but they all do like a third of what a D&D feat does.
Yeah.
Most of it.
Sniper above us.
Yeah, that's the boss guy right there.
Oh, there he is.
We've got him cornered
Yeah. Wow.
in an airfield.
I did not expect him to just be like right above us, rocking our shit.
We want to take down these turrets.
Yeah, working on it.
Because he's going to get hit a bit, and he's going to fly away, and then we're going to have to do like a... We're going to have to grab one of the like little like machine ball things and stick it in the generator.
Oh, okay. So put your thing in the thing.
Yeah.
Historically, I've had little success doing that, so we'll see how this goes.
And whenever he goes away, he'll have like a flying machine that he'll have shoot at us.
Gotcha. Oh, dudes. Lots and lots of dudes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's getting my shit rocked. Dude, yeah, if you're in a safe position, just take it. Oh, thanks, buddy. Okay. The way you described it made me feel like we're gonna go somewhere else, but we're not.
Yeah, he's about to go into that dome.
Oh, yes.
Ow, 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 ow. Doggies. Bad doggies. So many doggies.
Wow. Nice. Thumbs up, let's do this. Apparently, yeah, Leroy Jenkins was staged, but something fundamentally like it did happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, like it was based on a real thing, and then they kind of recreated it, made it funny. Like, obviously running the numbers, like, doesn't even make any sense, right? fuck you, dude.
Yeah, you got fucked up. He was in ice, he was in fire.
Great work, fire team.
Okay, y'all are getting way too
Earth and wind, you know.
Let's hear some chatter out there, huh?
Do you remember
Job's
the
done,
21st
Paige.
night of September?
Don't mind if I do.
That's a great fucking song. Earth, Wind, and Fire fucking slaps. Like, absolutely no shade.
It was good
No
shit.
shade whatsoever.
Good
Yeah.
shit. Heck yeah. 100 kills again. Let's go.
Go one.
What is
Oh, wow, we found someone worse than me.
This other guy's like season level 99 and he's only got 15 kills. Where were you at, boy? Where were you at?
It's
man?
just totally checked out.
Yeah.
You know, just a note on that. Like, power gaming is kind of, yeah, it's kind of a pejorative. It can work. It can be fine. It can be fine. Right?
And some
It's
some
okay.
games are designed for it.
Yes. Yes. So, you know, usually if we say, I don't know. Yeah, I guess if you point someone out as like, oh yeah, so and so is a bit of a power gamer.
Context matters.
Context matters. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you're talking about D&D
can't have a
and you're
negative
talking about someone
connotation.
being a power gamer, I don't want that person really in my party.
Oh, really? Okay. Alrighty.
Because it's just like, if you're a power gamer in the sense that like you kind of do it a little bit, like you were talking about with people in our group, that's not really power gaming. Power gaming is like, you commit to being a power gamer is what you do.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I think I just got booted. I'm gonna try and
Oh, your ship is in my thing.
let's see.
I see
Yeah,
your
my
ship.
thing is in your thing.
Yeah. We're just in
Wow.
orbit, I think.
Okay, hold on. Details. Okay, all right. Wait, where were we going? Okay, we're gonna try and launch again.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a server issue.
Fingers crossed it works this time.
But
Oh,
yeah.
it wasn't just on my end.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Oh. Okay.
I like the characters we have. I think that the characters the peeps have come up with are fun characters. There's just going to be more to it leveling up than they realize at this point. They're all doing their planning. I'm going to multi-class this, I'm going to take this. Just you wait till you level up and you find out that you can't do that for no reason.
Yeah, you gotta justify it somehow through RP.
Yeah. Like, the great thing is like, we will have downtime in between each session when we stream, because each session is basically going to be part of an adventure, but the adventure chapters are all, like, separate missions that start to build an overarching thing. So, like, there's going to be some downtime between each mission, which is cool, but, like, you will sacrifice what, like, actual downtime stuff you could do, like crafting things, making money and stuff like that, for whatever specialized thing you want to multi-class your character for. Like, if you want to train, to be able to, like, if you're like a wizard and you want to train in combat to be able to take levels into fighter, you're going to waste your whole downtime doing that, is basically what the rule is going to be. You're going to have to spend your whole downtime in between sessions doing it.
Gotcha.
And you're going to miss out on getting any stuff you could have gotten from downtime. But them's the breaks.
Them's the breaks.
Yeah. Unless you're like, if you're a wizard and then you take like a martial character feat at first level because your background is that you also have combat training, that's a totally different thing. If you set it up, like, it's fine. If you put it in your background, put it in your feat, and then you're just a wizard class at the beginning because you also have magical training, like, if you can make it all fit together, tie it in, that is okay.
At this rate, I'll have taken
I
the
just
muck
need to
in my
know,
teeth by
like,
day's
how,
end.
you know? Like,
How could they have coordinated?
because someone could be a noble, and maybe they trained in spellcasting, and they trained in, like, fencing, right? So maybe you do, you can do fighter with the dueling weapon specialty, and then
if the contamination spreads,
you're also a wizard. Like, that's totally fine with me. You just gotta make it make sense.
Hey team, we found a taken blight.
And then like with
Doing all kinds of
RPing that
crazy
character,
things
then
with
you
the
also
water.
don't, you know, if they're a noble, then they can't be, you know, battle hardened and savvy all the time.
Yeah, like you're a fencer in training, but there's no way you've ever seen combat before.
Yeah.
Like
life or death. Yeah.
yeah. This is your first real shot at being an adventurer. This is why we're level 1. You need to act like a level 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the other thing, is like people create level 1 characters and then it's like, yes, I'm a hardened mercenary, and it's like,
Then perhaps
but you're
their
level
reflection
1.
could be reversed.
Yeah.
Level 1 shows your character's overall life experience. How can you be a
Yeah.
mercenary that's hardened from battle at level 1?
This is true, and well, this is part of a problem that I have with level 1, because then it's hard to create characters with interiority
Yep.
in a way, you know, where they have, you know, rich past lives and stuff, and then we also have to. We also are meant to believe that these are also people who are going to then go on this adventure, fucking, like, kill people, or at least creatures, monsters, right? And yet, right, then level 1 would indicate that they hadn't done such things up until this point, right? Which then really narrows your bandwidth, I think, creatively. Yeah, it's kind of an issue I have.
Yeah, we're starting at level
Level
1,
one.
but basically everyone has a, like, class, like, everyone's chosen class, and, like, feat and stuff more accurately describes their, like, kind of, like, everyday lives before, and now they're starting an adventuring company. So, we have someone who's a druid and a tavern owner,
Plenty more underneath.
and, like, that's, like, they're a druid in the sense that they, like, kind of like their tavern is in the forest, and they protect the forest and also help protect any adventurers that come by, and they took the chef feat.
Oh,
This honestly feels like the fate of a lot of startups, which is like a bunch of, you know, like smart but arrogant people thinking that because they can do one thing, they can do another, and it's ultimately doomed to fail.
Yeah.
That's like if it was not D&D, that's what would be
Yeah.
happening.
One of the
The startup would
characters,
go tits up within a year.
one of the characters is his, like, background is a specific kind of agent, for a specific organization in Faerun, but we just reflavored it as an agent for the parent company to their adventuring company, which is the franchise Acquisitions Incorporated.
Nice. Okay.
So he's an Acquisitions Incorporated agent who is now getting his shot at running his first company on his own.
Right. Okay.
And so he's kind of like the one getting all these other people together to form the company.
Okay.
Yeah, and the tavern is like he's stationed in Waterdeep. We have the gnome artificer is a city guard for Waterdeep. The druid's tavern is outside on the road between Waterdeep and one of the neighboring villages. So like they're like closer in proximity. There's like connections between characters already, which is really good.
That is good. Yeah. Good radar.
We have someone playing a satyr. I allowed for some of the more exotic races to be played. And we have a gnome, a dwarf, and a dampier, which, I mean, dampiers are kind of exotic, but also kind of standard at this point. But satyr's pretty exotic, but he's a satyr. He lived with a goblin tribe in the forest near the, his background is that he's an anthropologist, so he went and lived with the goblins to learn about them. And then the goblin tribe got wiped out, and those spirits of the goblin tribe follow him around, and so he's a bard of the College of Spirits.
Those goblins getting wiped out, does that have anything to do with him? Like maybe he
No.
brought some kind of horrible pox? Because this sounds like straight up just colonialism.
No. In fact, he's actually picked up some habits from living with the goblins. So he eats with his hands all the time. He doesn't bathe.
Oh god, he's one of those awful study abroad fucks. Oh, it's something
It's like
that
that,
I was abroad.
that lady that like went and lived with like the fucking gorillas or whatever.
Oh god, yeah. Identified more as a gorilla.
But yeah, so he's gonna have goblin spirits who like he communicates with for his bard stuff, and
Yeah.
that's how he gets into the company. Is that he's at the tavern because it's in the forest that he generally lives in, and then the goblin spirits overhear people talking about a profitable venture, and they're like, "Shinies? We want shinies. Go get us shinies."
Yeah.
It's like you're ghosts, and they're like, they don't understand that they're dead. They're goblins.
Yeah. We want Chinese.
Yeah. The only one I only have one character I haven't connected in yet, and that's because he's a monk.
Well, yep, that's
They
gotta
just
make
let
it
them
difficult to.
Monks are
establish
hard.
personal
Monks are
connections.
always hard for me.
Monks are very hard.
And his race is that he's a turtle, which is a race that lives off the coast of this peninsula. They're like ancient. They used to like serve the dragons, but they don't anymore. Kind of thing. So he's like this turtle race. It's like a turtle person. So why he's in Waterdeep, why he joins the company, yet to be discovered.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy's getting chomped on. Holy shit.
Wow. That was quick.
They kind of just said, "Fuck you, dude."
Arrives immediately. Gets
God.
his shit pushed in.
That was amazing. That was amazing.
Wow.
That was hilarious. Yeah, so I don't know how to connect the monk to a company starting out from another company that's headquartered in Waterdeep, which is the City of Splendors. Doesn't sound like a place a monastic person would go to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like it's full of vice. Because it is. It's Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Waterdeep is kind of like a... it's not all shady, but it definitely has shadier parts than like
It has shady
Baldur's
corners,
Gate.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's always those like cities that are like on the coast with like docks that are like the shady,
Yeah.
like they have some kind of shady, but also a lot of
Well,
wealth.
they've got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much how it goes.
So like cities.
yes, but like specifically like maritime cities like
Maritime. Well, I mean, most cities have to be connected to a major body of water. That's kind of what makes them cities historically.
yeah.
Um,
So yeah, I don't know how to connect them yet. Still figuring it out, but I've got a lot of time till we eventually do it.
yeah.
We're gonna run a couple one shots off stream to make sure all the people who haven't
got the
played
party
together
dynamics
before
figured out, yeah.
can play together.
Honestly, yes, that sounds like childish and like we're talking about kindergartners, but like that's a real thing. That's
Like we're all friends and stuff, but like we need to be able to play a game together. And like just because someone's your friend doesn't mean you can play a game together. Like I love like playing D&D with our group as a group. But like there are obviously some people in like our group too, and other people that we've played with when our group used to be bigger, that like I wouldn't like single them out and bring that one person like into my live stream with all of my streamer friends. Because I've DM'd for them before and I know how they play and I know that like it's not going to mesh with everyone. I would have considered bringing you on for sure if time difference wasn't a fucking problem.
yeah.
Because like I feel like as a player, like I feel like it's just always a swell time to like have you in the party. I don't think there's ever been a thing that's like annoyed me really.
Yeah, I think I'm just very. I mean, because like my background. I mean, like literally, I teach theater and film.
Yeah.
My background is more performance and like narratives and stuff like that, and so like, you know, I like to game. I like the mechanics and combat and stuff like that, but that's just not ever what I'm focused on. And like, you know, the first rule of actually, do you know what's the first rule of improvisation?
Is it the yes and thing?
Yes and. Yep, you got a yes and.
Heck yeah.
Right? And that's what I'm always trying to do. Is just yes and can we go somewhere cooler and more creative. So I think it's that kind of background. If you're in it more for the narrative and to an extent even the performance stuff, then that will, you know, it lends itself to not rocking the boat or being super contentious a lot of the time.
And especially like since I have Ares playing, like having both of you playing would be fun.
Yeah.
So like
Ares is much more of a gamer when it comes to tabletop kind of stuff. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, his character's not like at all like power gamed or anything. He's kind of just chosen a character that he really likes the story for and everything. So that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he definitely like I haven't played with him all that much actually, but for example, like if you finish a combat, he'll be like, okay, so the loot. Like, give me the numbers on the loot. And it's like, I don't have any numbers on the loot. I'm sorry.
That's the thing for me is like I'll have loot and stuff, but like when we have those types of conversations, I still like I really want to focus on the live stream thing for people to remain in character as much as we can. So if your character is not someone who's going to be gimme the loot, then you don't get to say that.
At some level, yeah. 100%.
Like if your character sees this, like if you're playing a character that like uses archery and you see like loot has, you know, like bow or arrows or something, you're like obviously speak up, even if you're not a greedy person. But like if you're literally like if you made a character who's like completely anti-material possessions, I shouldn't hear you talk about loot at all unless it's bargaining for people to divvy up the loot fairly or something like that. But like
it's interesting.
Shouldn't hear you be greedy if your character can't be greedy. You know
it's
what I mean?
interesting to me sometimes. Yeah. Even for relatively new players, they like the idea of, I guess they just like the idea of money. Like they like the idea that like, you know, did this part to this adventure, and then I got good for it. Like I like, they like the idea of being wealthy, and it's so interesting. Like I'm not trying to like make any kind of moral claim on this. It's just like that's so not what I want. Like I want to play a game where I don't have to care about money. Right? And so like that's one thing. Is like I think you'll agree. Like I try to do something new pretty much every time. Right? I don't want to. I'm not gonna be the edgy badass every single time. Right?
Yeah.
I've played edgy badass. At this point, to the point where like I can't even play it straight anymore. It's the last time I played an edgy badass. He was literally obsessed with edges and slicing things.
Yep.
It was like I had just gone
Calm
over
the separator.
Yeah, Calm the Separator was his name, and he was obsessed with separating things as finely as possible. So like you give him a carrot, he'll just keep slicing it thinner and thinner. And like it was just completely psychotic. Right? It's like that's you know, because there have been so many edgy badasses, like my brain couldn't handle that anymore, or couldn't like play it straight anymore.
Yeah.
And so that's what it became for me. But regardless, like, you know, I try to do something different every time, but no matter what, actually, pretty much none of the characters care about money. And so that's you know, we have our personalities, right? Like that's one thing that's going to carry over. Like I usually play good aligned characters, and I usually play characters who don't care about money. Like those are the kind of the two stipulations. Everything else, you know, try to make it as unique and specific as possible. But a funny thing was when another time I played with a very big party, where I was definitely the most experienced player. The character was, you know, well known for being, you know, like strong moral center, and also, yeah, one of those things is not caring about money, to where then they entrusted that character to handle all the money and gear. It's like there's so many of us, and who knows who has bragging rights, so just give it to her, and then she'll distribute it, and we'll just trust her to do it fairly, because she doesn't have a dog in this fight.
That's good. That's good.
Like it was like very good for the party. It was good RP, but I was like, that's irony, man.
Yeah, that's thing for the that's what's cool about the Acquisitions Incorporated rule set that we're using. Like everyone's gonna have a specific position in the company, and that position will give them special powers, special skills, and also a special role. And so if someone deals with like treasury stuff, it'll be that person's job. And like I want people to be able to like get excited for stuff outside of character. Like I don't mean to say that you can't ever be out of character, but like, you know, I don't. I try to stay like, I like staying on task to a certain degree. I like being able to like, you know, really play the characters. Like obviously if there's a difficult puzzle, you guys can, everyone can work on it to like solve it out of character, because that's just like sometimes you just need to do that or you'll be there forever.
Impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you get like brain rot, like you get like analysis paralysis or something, where it's like, yeah, like sometimes the simplest puzzles in D&D can be really hard to work through. Yeah. Because we just, we're not used to problem solving that way. We're not used to thinking that way, and so,
I just don't want, like, I don't want to play the game and have our monk character go through a dungeon looting everything he sees when he's a fucking monk. He doesn't even own a backpack. Like, he has no shirt. He's a monk.
This reminded me of Larry David's impression of Bernie Sanders. I don't have a backpack. No, I don't have a super pack. I don't even have a backpack. I carry my things loose like a professor going between classes.
That's good. Got you. But yeah, one of the first things the guys asked me when we were talking about it is like, how do you balance like party, like RP combat dungeons kind of thing? And I was like, or exploration, sorry. I was like, well, RP is like the most important, and then exploration, you need a fair balance of it, and you need a fair balance of combat, because if you just don't have enough combat, it's going to get pretty boring in some aspects.
Yeah, you need a shot of adrenaline. And like so much of what the game is like just sort of like geared around combat, like what characters are.
I just want the combat to be meaningful and have stakes.
Not like random encounters,
Yeah, I don't love random encounters, and that's why when we travel very long distances in this game, if there's genuinely no hooks on the way there, I'm just going to be like, can we, you know, let's try to get you guys like a wagon or something to take you there, because I don't want to spend time rolling every 50 miles to see if you guys get a fucking encounter.
Yeah.
Because it's so boring.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I love random encounters in the video game of Pathfinder in the sense that I get experience and loot, but it's a video game. If I was playing the video game like I played a tabletop, the encounters would annoy the shit out of me to no end.
Yeah. Yeah, they're different beasts, even if they are in the same.
Real? Do we? What?
We didn't even. Yeah, he was just focused on the boss. Like, yeah, Darth Vader completely went to Pound Town on the boss while we were fighting off the Legionnaires or whatever. Yeah, he's really good.
Oh wait, does this say flame turret?
Yeah. Okay, laugh it up, Fuzzball.
Don't forget about the signal flares.
Wait, what am I doing? What is that gesture? Okay. I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Damn.
Wow, it's just like really few kills in general.
We bypassed
Like none of us had a lot.
I feel like we bypassed a lot. We didn't let things spawn.
Yeah, that's true. All right, we can do Crucible now.
Yeah, you're done with this?
Yeah. Well, it's the second time we did that fucking strike, so yeah.
Yeah. There's only so many. But it was fun to do. I feel like you can do those kind of mindlessly, really.
Yeah, exactly. You can kind of talk about anything and just shoot. Okay, done.
Yeah. Let's do... we got some Clash, which is some 6-on-6.
Okay.
Big teams. Big teams.
Okay.
It's just 6-on-6 without the control, basically.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
We can just go back and forth, do some stuff. But I like all this tabletop talk, though. It's
Yeah.
this is good shit. This is the shit I could talk about forever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have
that's
to
kinda where you live,
I have to
right?
fucking read up on the Forgotten Realms now because I don't know shit about 5e lore.
You're on the Sword Coast, right?
Yeah. We are on the Sword Coast. Thankfully, I'm playing the Baldur's Gate games. So, it's going to help fill in some gaps. But the Baldur's Gate campaigns also happened well before this game takes place. So,
Gotcha. Yeah, timeline stuff is confusing.
yeah, I know. I'm just going to go with whatever like the Acquisitions Incorporated timeline is centered around and just call it that.
Oh, that's a good move.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because they had when the people that made up Acquisitions Incorporated played the PAX Prime events, they played within a certain context of the game, and then now they're running their parent company is like starting smaller companies, and that's where we start now. They're all like not adventurers anymore. Now they're like supporting new adventuring companies.
Best your opponents and survive. Victory is a matter of will.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll do their NPCs justice because, I mean, I've watched a lot of Acquisitions Incorporated, so I can probably act like their characters well enough. But it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Well, that's crazy that, yeah, you've kind of taken on other NPCs.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, timeline stuff, it's not just tricky. I mean, it's tricky with existing lore, for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because
But
you have to make sure it
also-
remains consistent.
Yeah, it's tricky when you homebrew even. Because we're trying to do like a very specific established timeline, right, with our homebrew campaigns that kind of all interconnect to each other. But you know what really fucks that up?
Together. Nothing. Lost the lead.
Yes.
What? What really
That's what
fucks up
fucks it
the
up.
timeline?
Yeah.
Running multiple campaigns set in the same world?
Oh, just the premise inherently, yes, but more than that, a feature of now several of those campaigns.
What are you...
Time travel.
Oh shit, yeah, time travel. All of our time travel
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah,
I feel
we've
like
had
we've
multiple campaigns with time travel now,
I feel like we've handled it well for the most part.
for the most part. But yeah, it does.
It helps that there's,
does
like,
mess with
magic.
your head.
Like, you don't have to
Yeah.
worry about the laws of science and time travel when you've got magic.
Sure. Although generally, I like to have some kind of rules.
Yeah, no, we have rules. It just doesn't have to be like an exact thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like one of our
Yeah,
things
like
is
the
that
physics.
Jeffy the Magical Gnome has been all over the fucking multiverse.
Yeah.
He's traveled
Jeffy
through
the
time a
Magical
lot.
One of Unsung's characters from a old
Yes,
Pathfinder.
it was a Pathfinder campaign that Shane ran where we played the Wizard, the Ranger, and the Warrior archetypes.
It was like very, very classic archetypal kind of characters. Yeah.
And I played the Wizard, but I was actually a sorcerer whose bloodline was basically the intelligence-based wizard bloodline. Like, I was a wizard, but I had magic innately instead of
forgot about
studying
that.
spells.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be able to spontaneously cast.
And you use power words, right? You use power words a lot.
I did have power words eventually. They're higher level spells. But we had, unless you're talking about my Iron Man character in your game,
No.
I used ancient word magic.
Ah.
That was the thing that I did.
You're almost kind of. You know what would be actually really good for that class would be Artificer.
Yeah.
That's actually.
If we played it now, I would 100%. I would just do the Armorer Artificer.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
That
yeah.
was in, yeah.
Basically, for Jeffy, I chose a bunch of silly enchantment and summoning spells that didn't make any sense using in tandem, and I thought were funny. Like, I was a chaotic as it gets sorcerer, and which was fun to play because I almost always play lawful characters.
Yeah.
I don't always play good characters, but I will usually play lawful because because I can't trust anyone else to be the person to move the game along. So it's gotta be me.
Yep.
As we saw in our, like, 13-person fucking game.
Yeah, to the point where people were legit mad at me. People got so
Sorry for progressing
upset
the game, guys.
for progressing the game. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry
But,
for
yeah,
doing
just,
the
like,
thing
so many-
that Sonic desperately wanted me to do.
But then I couldn't. Yeah, like I couldn't just tell them. Like they look at me. It's like, don't look at me, man. I just set the world. I just tell you what happens. I'm not gonna tell you like what to do.
Also, it's like
You know?
everyone's like you're creating this like leadership thing with like 3 of you, but you're just gonna like vote for yourself, and it's like, okay, but like RP wise, my character is the best leader here. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it was the most experienced person playing the game of
yeah,
D&D.
exactly.
So-
and also like, have you led troops in battle? Because my character has. I'm a fucking officer. So yeah, and I feel like,
Yeah.
like I think what got me mad is like Shane was like trying to campaign for like himself being one of the leaders, and like he kind of
Yeah.
like turned against me in part of the game
And
because
it's
he was
like- it's
he
like
was
what's
out
funny
of
about that is,
character
like-
mad. He was out of character mad.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's like
he's out of character mad, but also it's like you are just like what is his alignment in that game?
He was
specifically?
chaotic.
And he doesn't. He's chaotic gay. Okay, like
Yeah.
that is his alignment. Is that character? Not always.
Daimir is also one of the youngest characters in our game. Like he was the least fit to lead, except for the tieflings. The tieflings were by far the least fit to lead.
But at least they were self-aware.
But like, they were trying to make it to where it was, like, I think the things that he voted for were for him, one of the tieflings, and also Sarah's character. But Sarah's character actually became on the
wound up
council
happening. Yeah.
because she's a person who was like a compassionate character in the game. And so like
Well, to the point where he had to do like an alignment change. Yeah.
like I legit, I'm pretty sure that I voted for her character as well. So
One of the most unanimous votes. Yeah, well, I mean, that was the thing. It's like when it came down to... Also, when it came down to it, that, like, never happened. Like, it was never used for anything ever.
we used it once.
Hold strong.
Oh, yeah?
We got to the like one of the big cities and we sat in the tavern and the 3 of us discussed things, and then
Okay.
like people kept coming in trying to like distract us or find out what's going on or whatever. We were like, we haven't been able to have the fucking conversation yet. And that was the only time that we ever really used it, other than just people not arguing when I kind of made decisions for the party going forward.
Which it kind of already happened, but at least in this way, it was like, you know, on purpose.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah.
The other character
chosen
that got
whatever,
through
yeah.
was Hannah's character. She was like the
Yeah.
older woman who was
Yeah,
like a
the
leader
obvious
of a
choice.
community or whatever. I voted for all 3 people I voted for got in. Say.
Got it. Yeah. Which includes yourself.
Yeah. I wasn't. I mean,
Voting for
okay.
yourself. Yeah.
It would be
boys.
stupid for my character to not vote for himself because he knows he's the most capable leader in the group. That's like part of his
Kind of
thing.
arrogant, but yeah. I mean that's his thing. He's arrogant but capable. Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the character, and that's an important thing too. It's like, you know, if you have flaws, right, as a person, which we all do, right, you can kind of bake those into your character. You can kind of lean in,
Yeah.
right, do that, and that gives characters interiority. That gives them complexity, right. The more you try and make them like, just because you are good aligned, that doesn't mean that, you know, that just means like in the grand scope of things, you wouldn't do anything really bad.
Yeah.
That's really it, right?
Yeah.
And in fact, you can even argue that, you know,
Fondor, no. I just know that I'm the best leader. Every tyrant ever.
Every tyrant ever. He's not wrong.
Oh,
Fondor
here's
is
the deal though, Fondor. My character did start out as lawful evil, though it wasn't because he was tyrannical. It was because he followed orders to a fault. Like if his commander said murder this family, then he would obey his commander. That's why he was evil.
Yeah, he's super obsessed with hierarchy.
But through that process and other stuff in the game, he became lawful neutral and like realized that not having one leader but voting for 3 allowed people to have a sort of representation in the thing, which he wasn't used like to having. He didn't really have autonomy before being a person in the army. Because he just did whatever his
and
commander
also
told him.
realized laws can be bad.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
written by and executed by bad people.
And at the end of that, he became the general for the army, and he became a more stoic and thoughtful person than he used to be, which is very cool.
That's what you want. You always want an arc. You don't want your
Yeah.
character to be in the same place at the end that they were at the beginning.
Also, Pondor, how's it going, buddy? How's it going, friendo? We've been talking tabletop stuff all the time. So you missed, we talked about what min-maxing and optimization are, what power gaming is. We talked about like the difference between a bug, an exploit, and a cheat code, and all kinds of stuff that you definitely could have weighed in on. Sounds like you went soft.
Yeah.
I mean, in some ways, yes. And in some other ways, I think he just found confidence in his own, like, self-assurance as well. So, like, he also discovered that he had good ideas and good suggestions, and therefore, you know, can feel like he doesn't need to be questioned anymore. You were talking about me this whole time.
It.
Yeah. Like, he doesn't, like, he didn't really know how to make, like, decisions. He kind of had to out of necessity because our group was chaotic as fucking hell. But he was.
I don't think the group inherently was very chaotic. It was just like more than it was double digits. Okay, like.
I mean, I don't mean like chaotic aligned. I guess I meant chaotic in the sense that it was just like there were so many of us, but like we just couldn't fucking ever agree on anything. Someone tweeted today and said, tweet out 3 words to completely divide the party in a tabletop setting, and I said, spare the werewolf.
Holy fuck. Have you and Chaotic talked about that on stream?
We haven't. We need to, because he was a part of that.
Oh, he wasn't a part of that. I think he still has nightmares about it. Like, he internalized that deeply.
Yeah.
Like, deeply. It was distressing.
Well, to be fair, like, Contiguous's character used hold person on him.
That was hilarious.
Like, our introduction to Contiguous's character was zone of truth on everyone without permission, and then hold person on you without permission.
Generally, for casting hold person, if the person consents, then you just do it with your hands.
It's just
or
like
your body.
What kind
you
of
don't cast a spell?
It's like, dude, you're a cleric.
And your weapon.
Yeah.
He then did.
Dude, he was.
He then did shrooms in the inn. That was
Yeah. That was session 3.
Yeah, that
right,
wasn't really his
yeah.
character. He just started playing Contiguous.
Yeah, he just kind of started playing himself at some point.
which is funny as hell.
Absolutely hysterical. Oh my god, he was funny.
Hey, Fondor, I hope work goes well. I always appreciate the shade, my friend. Yeah, double digits of players. RP, like, was bad, but wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And then combat, you just have 2 people act on the same turn. You
What
just
do you
have
mean
to.
RP was bad?
I mean, like, it was a lot more time consuming because of so many people.
Yeah. Because of so many people.
Which I don't like.
Yeah, we had to do initiative even for like non-combat stuff
Yeah.
to make sure that everyone got like their 2 cents in. Yeah, we divided the whole group into teams so that basically 2 players took
And,
up
like,
1 space and like they acted on the same turn and
Don't get me wrong, the campaign was awesome. I loved the game. I loved playing with everyone. It was a great time. But, like, those moments were hell. And combat, honestly, like, once we laid down the rules of, like, you 2 need to be, like, ready to go with what you want to do, like, it went pretty smoothly, honestly. Just having 2 people go at the same time. And generally, I'm pretty sure across all the combats, like, I know Chaotic and Caitlyn got, Chaotic and Caitlyn, and then me and Shane were like the 2 pairs that like did a lot of the killing.
knew what you were doing basically. Yeah.
They were fighters, and we were warlocks, and
Oh yeah.
we were just Eldritch blasting and like hex blading everyone, and then they were just doing like dual wielder fighter shit. So like our pairs had the biggest damage output.
But everyone had a little bit of everything. I mean, yeah, with a party that big, you know, there was some diversity.
We didn't have any need for roles. We pretty much had everything covered.
Yeah.
We had our thief
But,
pair.
yeah.
We had our clerics
Yeah.
pair.
You had a druid. You had everything.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yep. It was pretty cool. I had a great time with it. It worked out way better than I thought it was going to. Especially with like a good number of new players to the system, so, into tabletop. in
Honestly,
general.
though, the new player thing was nice in that you know, and I'm not saying experienced players are always like this, but there wasn't a whole lot of ego.
Oh yeah.
You know. Yeah.
I feel like I'm a
so-
fairly like not egotistical person. So.
But then sometimes, yeah, not that egotistical people can be like, can suddenly snap into a certain way of being in terms of, you know, when they're playing tabletop, like, you know, their personality is, certain aspects of it kind of are, you know,
when you
revealed or
like
come
put
out a
us
little bit
with
more.
people to like help them through the system and stuff, honestly, I was like, oh, this seems fun. This is cool. I get to like help someone learn the game. That was like my only thought on it.
Yeah,
I was just like, this is gonna be a fun time.
Combination of experienced and new players, which actually worked really, really well. And that's basically what that's the campaign that kind of birthed at some level. I'm not saying 100%, but like at some level, it kind of birthed this channel.
Yeah.
Or it was kind of that experience. Yeah, definitely kind of started the seeds of a group and a community that then has you've taken it.
Yeah, if I didn't get into D&D with all you guys and everyone, I don't think my gaming life in general would be what it is today.
Yeah, it'd probably be more you know, probably like a lot more single player.
Yeah, a lot more solo, a lot more low key, a lot more like, you know, because like I wasn't a very sociable person back then, so like being able to get out of my comfort zone and like meet a bunch of new people all at once really helped with my college experience overall. Which is really cool.
I think I've talked about this before, but especially like for men and boys, I think it's really important to have a sense of shared activity. Like I think that it's got to do with the way that we're socialized, but like I think that even if I guess you would say that you had like a male upbringing and a predominantly male experience, right? Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and so I think that it has to do with the way we're socialized, not necessarily just like, you know, unchanging, you know, a priori factors of being, with, you know, having a life going dear God no. So just the way we're socialized, I think that men and boys, you know, yeah, they need a shared activity often, and then through that shared activity, then they can create a sense of closeness and intimacy, or you know, at least understanding and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's a typical way for men and boys to form friendships. I feel like women and girls have an easier time just interacting, just talking. Right?
I think the other thing is like, because I had brothers, we could always play together, and
Yeah.
it's not the same experience as socializing with other guys, just in general.
Yeah,
So-
because you know this is the person that you.
Yeah, and so because of having that kind of like safety net for like playing with other people and getting my time in with other people, it like ended up being like I love having brothers, but like in certain social circumstances it's kind of a shortcoming because I'm not used to hanging out with other people who aren't my brothers. And so, you know, making friend groups in high school and middle school was super hard all the time. Because I wouldn't put myself out there ever. But college.
Shane is here.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god. Yeah, I just remembered. No, he's done shit talking. He was shit talking you earlier. You missed it.
Oh, good.
I wasn't shit talking. We were
At least it's on stream.
reminiscing.
I can go back.
I was recounting objective facts. Okay. And the
What was
fact
the
is, he's a
objective
little
facts?
bitch.
We were just reminiscing about how our first campaign
You
went
got
with
real-
the big group, and you
the
got out
18
of
person
character. You got
You
out
got
of
real
character
ass
mad at
mad,
me
yeah.
Or what?
for instituting a leader system because our RP was fucked up as hell.
I don't remember this.
Wow, he doesn't even remember.
Wow.
Wait,
Wonderful.
What I
What
thought
did
was
I
a
do?
pivotal moment in our friendship.
Oh, you didn't really do anything. You just kind of, you know.
You were just mad for
shade.
like the latter half of the game.
I have fond memories of that game.
Yeah, I think we were saying it's like in some ways that game was a, and the experience of that
It
kind
was
of
because
indirectly led to the birth of the channel.
my characters decided that we should vote for 3 leaders to make decisions because 13 people cannot make decisions. And then we voted, or I was like, you know, was like, obviously I feel like my character is a good choice because I'm the only person who's ever led people in my backstory, because I'm an officer in the army, and I'm lawful, and I was also one of the more experienced players of 5e, so it's like, I should be one of the leaders. And then, but like, I think at the time you saw it as us kind of like, some of us putting down the more chaotic characters, more like
or
out
more
there.
inexperienced.
Yeah, like you and the Thieflings like would generally have ideas that were kind of like against the grain of like just focusing on the task at hand.
But guys, what if we steal valuable candles?
Because like they were into stealing things, and you're into like magical artifacts and stuff. That was like Daimir's thing. And I was like, let's get a move on with actually doing stuff because this RP is taking fucking forever. And so we
This
instituted-
role playing is messing up my role playing.
My role playing, yeah.
It's just like we took forever to have conversations that did not need to take that long.
Bro,
And
I heard you
people.
like role play, so I put some role play in your role play.
So we did
It started with 16 people. There was never again another 16-person session.
That's true.
It
Yeah.
wavered between
It
between
always felt
13
like
and
that
14.
though.
I don't even remember who the people that dropped were.
Seconds.
We know
Marvin
them.
and Leah.
Yeah. We
Oh,
know
really?
Okay, I wasn't gonna
Was
say
it
their names
just-
on stream, but yes, we know them.
Was it
yes.
just them?
No, there's one more. There were
Sound
2 more people who
tactics
dropped
bring
out at one
victory.
point. Yeah, the party shifted
Okay.
configurations at several points. But yeah, it was always after that first session. It was always hovering
Hard
between
fought victory, Guardian.
13 and 14.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. So we did the system, and I think you also tried to like you and the Thieflings were like trying to get both of like y'all selves and Sarah's character in the lead, like have the more chaotic characters be in the lead in the leadership.
That sounds fun.
But it didn't happen because mine and Sarah. I mean, Sarah's character did get voted in, but she wasn't really that chaotic of a character. She just often listened to what you guys had to say more than anyone else did. But it was yeah. Our fire team's chilling. If you want to get in.
Yeah, you can jump in.
Yeah, okay. I'm
Yeah. So
Which
I remember it vividly because I pretty much remember.
It sounds like you were pressed.
I remember most times when I feel like I'm doing something that's good, and then it ends up pissing somebody off.
Oh my god, I thought they made that.
That's like a thing that I remember from most of my interactions with other people. Because I like questioned like my whole thing. I'm just like, was this not a good idea? What?
Right.
If I didn't have Sonic there being like, you know, I think this is a good idea, then I would have questioned everything.
I think that okay, the reason I thought it was a good idea, anything that the players are doing that is in character, in universe, and you know, working on their true motivations as characters, I think is good. And then second of all, I really did not want to try and you know, I was resisting really hard the temptation to always like break stalemates and be like, okay, so now this happens. It's like, nah, man, like this is a game wherein like your actions create you know, create the story, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm just there to give you the universe, right, and kind of guide you through it. But I'm not telling you what happens. You create what happens, right? And then I got this, especially for more inexperienced players that are like, okay, so what happens now? I'm like, well, you tell me, right? And so if there's that impasse where it's like the party not doing things, and then they're like, well, eventually something's going to have to happen, right? It's like, nope. You just keep staying there around the campfire. You know, like if you choose to stay there around the campfire, you gotta stay there around the fucking campfire, because I'm not making, you know, conflict happen out of nothing to kind of, you know, push you in a certain direction. And that's why I thought it was a good idea.
I think it didn't help when we came up with it. It didn't help that before that, okay, Shane and I and Chaotic and Caitlin, our four characters, were investigating the this magical artifact communication mirror device thing we found in secret. We were investigating it in secret and kept doing that, and we kept pulling away from the group, physically, our player bodies. We would move away and discuss with you what we were doing. Everyone else is like, what are you doing? And we're like, we're not going to tell you. And then after that, I consulted with Chaotic and Caitlin to come up with the leadership idea, also in secret, and then brought it up in character out of nowhere the next session. So there's a lot of things being done in secret.
How do you remember all of this?
I remember
I don't remember any of this shit.
I remember a lot of the stuff. It was because they used the mirrors to talk to each other, the royal family members.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I remember all of that, and then after, when we started having RP lag problems, I was like, we need people to make decisions for the group. So I consulted with Chaotic and Caitlin to make sure that I had their votes before I instituted anything. Because the last thing I wanted to do as a player is start up this idea and then hand control over to the most chaotic characters in the game, or people who didn't know what they were doing.
Hey, sometimes that's how democracy works.
Yeah, I would have still played and probably had a fun time, but there definitely would have been moments I would have been upset about it.
My thing was, I pointed this out earlier, is that for all of this structure, this agreement was barely used at all, right? It was much ado about nothing.
Yeah.
Right, at the end of the day.
We had one big conversation where the three of us leaders talked away from everyone else, and then everything else was us just kind of being able to decide things without anyone questioning it in RP. Basically, it was like a passive ability. It was just like people stopped arguing as much when we became the leaders. And I feel like,
well, honestly, dude, I think that's slightly a skewed perception. I think it was just because we were getting towards the end game, and so then like the stakes and the possible decisions became much clearer. Because I think that's the thing.
Yeah,
is that
probably.
when the party has a lot of options, then it becomes really hard to decide what to do. When we're more in the end game and the stakes are clearer and there's like much more immediate conflict, it becomes much easier to decide what to do. The Overton window, right? The range of options narrows considerably.
yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And then Shane, we were talking about how like our pair and then
Oh, I didn't know we were doing Crucible.
we were talking about how our pair and then Chaotic and Caitlin's pair, like both of our pairs did most of the killing.
The zones are yours if you fight
Most
for
of the
them.
killing. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Warlocks are great.
We destroyed as Warlocks. It was insane. It was freaking awesome.
But this can lead to a good discussion of
Zone A captured.
what do you do? What do you do? What do you do when people get ass mad? What do you do when you have out of game
Enemy has
conflicts that
advantage.
stem
Enemy
from the
claims
game
zone
itself?
B.
When you have out-of-game conflicts that stem from the game itself, I feel like as a DM, it's important to make sure that everyone knows that this is just a game, holds no stake in real life, and that we are all friends playing together first and foremost, okay? We are not actually our characters, they are just an extension of us. So always keep that in mind and remind your players of that because they will forget, okay? They are players in an emotional game that they are investing in.
Yeah.
They will forget that they are just players, right? And then the other thing like you can do is just like find RP ways to let it sort itself out. Like
Yeah.
if two characters to like solve a long-standing issue and to kind of get the energy out need to like non-lethal damage spar each other, fucking let them do it. Let them have at it. You can spend some time just letting a 1v1 go on where no one actually dies. Just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've party killed before.
Yeah,
I've
sometimes
killed a member of my party.
also if someone's just being a complete asshole, sometimes you just gotta fucking kill them.
So the thing was, so the thing with the party kill, like, it was unexpected, and in the moment, my friend was pissed off about it. But actually, what I knew was he hated that character, like, he hated the build, and he didn't have a strong sense of personality for the character. And he just, like, was not happy with any of it. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna kill this character and have him roll another one so that he gets another shot at it, he's happier with it. So then I just fucking cheap shotted him with Touch of Death. It was a evil cleric, and rocked his shit. And then he rolled up another character that he had a lot more fun with. So like
That's
literally, I'm
great.
like, you don't know this, but I'm doing you a favor.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think, and also be aware of patterns. If you and a certain player continue to have problems in a game, like multiple games together, don't play with each other anymore.
Just
don't.
That's sometimes the
They might be
answer,
one of your best friends, but that doesn't mean that you guys will have chemistry in a game.
Yeah, it's very true. Some folks just, especially if they're playing a game, they just have certain personality types or certain tendencies that can honestly be difficult with lots of folks, and some folks are just like a little bit better at shrugging it off, you know? It's a whole thing.
Yeah, sometimes you can make it work and learn how to manage them properly, but sometimes you just
it's better just to be like, all right, you know, let's see you around.
And as a DM, it has an issue with a player, the best thing you can do is adjust and adapt. Like, if you avoided every player you had a problem with consistently, I don't think you'd ever find a game, because you were just gonna have. It's a unlikely chance that you would have a group of players that you just like never have an issue with ever. It's hard to do so. Like, I mean, there have been DMs that I've had issues with, and as a DM, there are players that I've had to work kinks out with other players, and it's just like, you gotta figure out how to manage it the best way. When I first started DMing with Shane in the group, there were certain times where I felt like, like, in my opinion, some stuff his character wanted to do might have been, like, either too out of the way, or maybe what I thought was, like, too special, but then I adjusted my management system by just being like, there are ways to give Shane what he wants without actually going as far as I thought I had to go. It's just, it's knowing the game better, and being able to communicate with Shane, and Shane can discuss what he's actually trying to accomplish, and then you can plan for it a lot better. Rather than hearing it in the middle of the game and then being like, oh shit, now I have to deal with this. It's like, slow down, talk to your player outside of the game, figure it out what it is they actually want to do as a goal, and then find a way to make it happen that fits within your game. Games are flexible. You're the DM. You're God. You can make things happen.
Can I ask, what was the first game that you DM'd? Yeah.
The first one I ever DM'd him wasn't that bad. It was just it was the one where we, like, it was the King's Air one in Fairhaven.
Wait, I played it then?
Yeah.
That was the first one?
Yeah, I mean, we messed around with D&D before playing with Marvin and Leah, and like trading off DMing like little tiny one-shot things for each other, but like never really DM for each other.
Wow. And you hadn't really played all that much before, or?
We played some D&D Next, is what we played before. And then Pathfinder was all new to us when we met Marvin and Leah.
Wow.
Yeah. But
that's crazy, dude.
That wasn't that bad though. I just didn't know. The issue was I didn't know how to prepare for more mechanic related questions that he had in character, to be honest. And that's just because I didn't fucking know Pathfinder well enough to do it. He's asking me like he's asking me how the weather is because it pertains to a spell, and I'm like, I honestly don't fucking know because I didn't plan on creating a specific weather or temperature. I didn't know that I had to do that as a DM. So
that sounds like a crazy sentence now that you didn't know
right
about Pathfinder.
I have to create weather? What? You mean it's not just there?
Explaining, we were on a call the other night with our Unsung and I, and excuse me, die. Okay, got him. And I was explaining me to him, and it was like weird that he didn't know it. But then also like picked up stuff immediately and then was explaining shit to me.
Yeah, we were discussing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, which is very different, honestly.
Oh, right. Really?
Yeah, it's kind of like mixing Pathfinder with the user friendliness of 5e. Which is, there's some guy on the other team whose name is just fucking Terrence, and then there's just Philip. Like, they don't have numbers or symbols. It's just Terrence. Hi, Terrence.
My name is just Shane.
It's not Shane R. Smith?
No, I don't think so.
Fuck.
I think it's just Shane.
It is. And yeah, tell me how you really feel.
God damn. It's just funny when I see names that are just actual fucking names.
You don't sound like you're laughing. You sound salty as fuck.
It's just funny when it's just like you're just hey, what up, Terrence? Like, it's just a fucking name. It's not even like you don't have an alias. You're just Terrence. What would be really funny is if his real name isn't Terrence.
That would be.
And
funny.
That's his username.
That's probably the case. You know,
my username is just another first name.
Yep. Like Gravity Falls, Tyrone.
That's one that I really need to get around to seeing.
I wasn't pissed. I was just like saying his name in a funny way.
Okay.
Hello, Terrence. Yeah, Yeah,
I don't think I've ever had a major issue with players in my game. I felt like most of the time I was just more worried about that they were having a good time. I feel like the one summer campaign Axis, I felt at one point near the beginning like that I wasn't quite like reaching sorry,
Just everyone, right? Like wasn't quite reaching the whole party.
yeah. Oh, everyone. Is that how bad it was? Talking about a specific person, but
oh, really? Just one specific person? Okay, gotcha. I don't know. I would look around sometimes and get this like some folks like their.
Can
eyes
you
were, like,
describe the
glazed
person
over.
without using the name?
yeah, I just have to like.
What was their character?
I had to talk her off a ledge a few times.
Wow.
Was it
characters?
Was it the character that was like the female character who was like going crazy the whole time?
Take them.
Okay.
Oh,
Your enemy.
Yeah.
that was a good character.
It was a good character, and I just felt like it took the most patience from me personally.
Yeah, because it was a well-written character and some cool RP, but it completely detracted from like the focus of the game most of the time.
Sometimes, but then yeah, there's a question is like, is it the character? Is it the person? Is it both? You know, because like I think that is sometimes.
Yeah, I think the part of it for me was like, I got along with that player a lot more later on after all of the games, like when we just hung out and stuff. But like during the games, I just like generally found her to be so abrasive, and I don't really get along with more abrasive people. I just felt overwhelmed by her all the time. So like the player kind of made it not like adding that on to the character who was also kind of an intense, overwhelming character to be around is like wasn't a great combo for me as a player.
Yeah, but yeah, just the kind of thing where Shane, yeah, anytime that you have like a shit ton of lore, right, or some kind of new specific mechanic, I think that you're gonna it's just a big ask, right? And it's not that people don't like that or aren't having fun, right? Again, it's just a big ask, right? For people to kind of like put their brain into certain games, right?
Yeah,
it's just kind of not what they're used to.
Zone
I
A
think,
captured. Zone advantage is yours.
Yeah.
Die.
I feel like
I don't think I've never gotten salty at a player as a DM.
I wouldn't say I ever got salty. Like I don't think I ever really got like
salty out of the DM.
You've gotten salty at a DM as a player. Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, to me, it's kind of just in the moment, and then it passes, and it's like, okay, no, I was being unreasonable.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever really like I feel like for the most part, except for Shane's case that I know he's talking about, besides that case, most of the time, stuff isn't worth carrying with you outside of the game.
Not at all. No, it's never worth it. It's never worth it. Right? It's just, we're human.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was more like you mentioned earlier, like if you continue to have problems with one person in games, maybe it's not an in-game problem. And you just don't play with them. And you can have like a different kind of relationship
still be friends.
with them.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
That was the case.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like for me, the issues that I ever have with players is when I think I'm not always the best at I feel like I'm a lot better now. I wasn't always the best at handling players that had like varying play styles. So like if it varied differently from how I would play the game, like if you're just focusing on mechanics and don't care as much about RP, or like if you're trying to make your character have like a very special, super special something, like that kind of stuff, I didn't vibe with because I would never make my character do those things if I was playing the game. Like, I don't ever, like, my character, when I play a game with someone, I don't ever talk to the DM about, like, a special goal that I have in mind. Like, it was, like,
Oh, really?
pulling teeth for Lobster to get me to do that for Monster of the Week. Because, like, I don't do special things. I just want my character to be a part of the adventure. That's all I care about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Monster of the Week is so kind of individually motivated sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, in terms of...
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's the thing I had to adjust because Shane, like, you like your characters having, like, something, like, some special goal that they're going towards.
Yeah.
And, like, planning for that for me is hard because I feel like sometimes that stuff can detract from the overall thing. But then you have to remember that, like, in a campaign, there's more than one story going on.
Oh, yeah, dude. This is what we were talking about with characters. It's like, you know, you never want them to be in the same place at the end that they were at the beginning.
Yeah. And, like, I don't know, like, Raymond in your game had character development, but he didn't...
Yeah.
I didn't ever do anything really special with him besides the RP leadership thing, which we never really used. So it's like,
yeah, you just do the main plot, and then just in so doing, if you RP effectively, then you'll get it. Yeah, you'll get
right.
it.
I feel like when we like DM, and especially when we DM and create campaigns, it's always from like the media we're inspired by, and I feel like you in particular, Unsung, are inspired by like the normie rising to a important situation. And so you like to play those types of characters, but all the media I like, it's like, all right, I feel like I can place myself in, like, you know, things are especially happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I also write things that way, like, because those are the stories that I know the best and I'm inspired by.
Yeah, I'm not a very like, what's a friendly term to say special snowflake? I don't, like, what's the nice way to say that? Because it just has such a negative connotation now.
It does, yeah.
But, like, I don't read books with characters like that. I don't like making characters like that. I like just kind of, you know, being a part of the journey as a group and, you know, progressing as a group and then having my individual growth as we do things. But, like, it's also hard when I, like, plan games that are bigger in scope and then characters want to do special stuff. Because, like, the bigger scope you make the game, I feel like the harder it is to zoom in on a character. So, like, when we did Star Wars with your essentially Anakin Skywalker game that you killed off, Shane, it was like,
oh, yeah.
I created a game where you guys were going to have, like, bases and, like, allies and shit like that. And then you wanted to go and have, like, this kind of inner dark turmoil thing happen. And I was like, how do I go back and forth between these two things? How do I incorporate this in a way that, like, makes sense without losing the focus of the big, like, out-of-scope plot? And that was, like, tricky to do. And then you decided you didn't want to do that anymore, so you had your character wipe his own memory. And we were going to have him become a villain later. And he created a new character. And I ended up missing his old character because his new character was this kid from one of the planets we found who was honestly kind of annoying, but that's how Shane played him.
That's how kids are, so like...
That's true, kids are annoying.
So I was like, I miss Anakin fucking Skywalker right now.
What a sentence.
I think I remember, like...
If Anakin was here, he would kill this kid.
Ooh, I just blew that guy up. That was fun. Sorry. What was I saying? Oh, I think I remember thinking, like, I was finding the large conversations and, like, the bases and that, like, at times to be monotonous, and I remember being like, I'm gonna spice it up.
I've decided unilaterally.
For my experience, I'm going to spice it up.
You are baby spice. Okay.
And then just baby when he took my spice away. Or when he killed spice, it was just baby.
This baby.
Yeah, I liked
It's,
that.
again, it's the type
So
of
far, I see.
stories
Yeah,
and games you like to
complete.
play.
I liked that game, but I definitely liked the game of Star Wars we ran with the boys a lot more.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
I really liked playing that character.
1
I
minute.
was really happy with him.
We will bring it back once you know, after Shane's the next campaign, and then after that we'll bring Star Wars back, and then Ares will join us.
Nice, cool.
So
Sounds good.
he's really
Yeah, I-
trying to like twist my arm into letting him play a character that doesn't use the Force. He really doesn't want to
like,
be a Force
bro.
sensitive boy.
Interesting. Like, this is Force and Destiny. Like, tough
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh.
Remain.
I mean, the other motivation is like if someone's getting together forces to fight off the Empire, like you're gonna find the Force sensitives first because they're the most fucking
They
powerful.
have advantage.
Like they are gonna be your weapon. How are you gonna fight Sith with just a bunch of fucking gunmen?
How many Sith are there, really?
10 seconds.
Well,
End them.
there's actually a lot more because the movies don't go into like the Darth Vader and his Inquisitors thing, but there is canon lore for like all of the Inquisitors and
A
stuff.
well-fought victory.
Yeah.
The Sith that's helping you guys is an ex-Inquisitor.
Yeah.
But he felt like the Inquisitors were holding him
Your
back. He's not
victory gives the
necessarily a
city
good
hope,
guy,
Guardians.
but he has a common enemy, is the thing. He's just like, the Empire has too many rules, he's holding us back. Like, he's a chaotic person, is the thing. So he doesn't vibe with the Empire. But he didn't want to join the rebellion.
Lawful evil.
Yeah, he didn't want to join the rebellion, so he was like, let's find someone else that can help me, and we can take down the, you know, the powers that be together. And so he allied with a Jedi who also didn't join the rebellion because he thought it was a lost cause the way they were doing it, because he's a little bit arrogant. And now you've got the arrogant and the chaotic boy together, and Sonic, where'd you go?
So, the wife is calling me. I gotta have lunch.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Alright, you guys gonna keep going?
We'll probably do one more. I got
Cool.
some things I need to do.
Gotcha.
Things.
Yeah, sorry, Shay. I didn't even duck out when you joined. I didn't know that you would be coming along. It was good to hear from you.
Yeah, you were like, hey, your campaign was pretty boring. I'm gonna leave now. That's what you said.
I don't think that is fair to say because I wrote a fucking like 20-page summary of the entire thing.
Well, when we played it, you
Right.
kind of
You
helped
did, yeah.
Detailed logs of every single session. I was as into that fucking thing as a person can be, man. I was balls deep in that campaign.
When we played that campaign, the stuff you said made it into the game. Like that was your character was like a co-writer of the game, is what happened.
Absolutely, yeah.
I was in it.
Specifically
all right,
in that one instance of Sally.
Yeah,
man?
he made
Oh Jesus! Yep.
he made suggestions about time shit, and Shane was like, "Oh, that actually sounds like a great idea."
Control.
That sounds good. Let's do that now.
Fucking hell.
All right. So we're not doing this Saturday or the next Saturday, right?
Yeah, we won't be doing this again
Show me you can
until
take
we get Wrath
Over
finished.
zone.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna take up most of my days doing Wrath.
Yeah.
I see a dude.
So
Enemy
like
claimed zone A.
yeah, probably
You
next
have
month.
Zone C.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see how long Wrath will take. I don't know how long the DLC is gonna
Enemy
be,
claimed Zone B.
but yeah.
Cool.
Eh,
Hey, well, it's good times. Yeah, we'll keep doing tabletop and stuff like that, and
yeah.
Zone B
I'll
captured.
yeah.
Zone advantage is
I
yours.
guess I'll see. Well, no, I'll jump into chat and stuff like that for the stream next month.
For sure.
And then we have to. Yeah, we I think I mentioned last time we have to record a song because we're trying to get onto like a compilation
Zone A
that
captured. Power
and the
play.
deadline is the
Keep
end
the
of the month.
pressure
So
on.
like we actually we're gonna be tracking on Saturday, so we have to finish that. So once that song is done, then I'll throw it up in the Discord as well.
Cool.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Zone B lost.
Have a good night, boys.
You too, bud.
You too. Have a good day.
Later.
Die. Oh, hey, he actually died.
That's why we
How
have
kind.
fire teams.
Hello.
We are all in the chairs. We're out praying. maybe.
Enemies! Enemies!
Oh, I thought he was much closer. Than...
Wither Horde. Fuck your Wither Horde.
No.
Zone A lost.
Damn you, Philip.
Zone B captured. You have zone advantage.
That.
Have you watched Vox Machina?
Yeah, I have.
You're all caught up and everything?
Yeah. Well, is there a new one this week?
Yeah, I think they come out on Thursday.
Oh, cool. I'll probably watch that tonight.
They do like 3 every Thursday is what they've done so far.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I actually didn't know. Hello.
Yeah, because we saw they all came out on the 27th for the first 3, and I was like, that's weird. So then a week from then, I was like, let's see, and there was 3 more, and I was like, well, look at that.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, I watched the,
You took them.
I
Now
guess
hold them.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. And the way it kind of, that episode ended, I felt like it was,
Zone B
Um,
lost.
like it could have been like a mid-season
Yeah.
finale sort of thing.
I haven't watched the Critical Role campaign, actually.
Oh, me either. It's they're very long.
It's like,
I
yeah,
watched,
it's
Tales of
143 episodes on YouTube that are all like 3-4 hours long.
I watched Tales of Exandria, the spin-off, which I thought was actually very good.
Zone A lost.
I like that all the players got to voice act their characters. It's fucking cool.
Yeah, me too. That's awesome.
I don't know if you've seen the show Made. Alma watched that recently.
No, Ronaldo has watched it too.
The cinematographer for that is married to the guy that plays Scanlan.
That's cool.
Yeah, so that was funny. It's like imagining like a person who worked on the show Made and then Scanlan. Fucking love Scanlan though. But Critical Role started their 3rd campaign
Right.
a couple months ago or something like that. And so
I feel like sooner than that. Ah, shoot.
because they have it was a few months ago because they have like they have over 10 episodes out for it, I think.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
And I saw Sam Riegel is the guy who plays Scanlan's name, and he did like a musical for like the ads for the sponsors,
Oh, that's fun.
and it was it was very entertaining. Very cool.
I liked how they did the ads during
5
Exandria
minutes
too.
remain. A strong start. Fight on.
Yeah.
Because they like pre-recorded them because it's during COVID, and they would have like in the live thing. Is her name Abria? I think it's Abria. Who is running that one would tell Matt, be like, "Okay, Matt, I think it's time to go to commercial break." Where, and then she'd be like, "Oh, that's a weird like mustache and robe that you're rocking." And then because they were recorded in the future, he would have to do whatever she said. It was quite funny.
And then I know that Laura Bailey, who plays Vex, and the guy that plays Grog
You have
are married in
together,
real life.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're together. I don't know if
I
they're
know a
married.
little bit about them. I
Yeah.
think they're married.
I only really know them as those characters so far, so that was also weird because it was like, man, Grog and Vex, please help. And then yeah, I already knew about Ashley Johnson because she voices characters in BioWare games.
Yeah.
And then I know.
Oh.
And then Marisha is Matt Mercer's wife. Whatever.
Zone A lost.
Yeah, but we were watching the latest 3 episodes, and then like, he just did.
So there's 9 out now.
What? No, the 6, the newest of the 6.
You captured Zone A.
But like,
Advantage is
our
yours. 3 minutes.
our gunslinger
You're
boy
winning.
did like the
Stay
creepy I want
Yeah,
your
yeah,
soul
yeah,
thing
yeah.
again, and I was like, what?
Don't see
What is
it.
this? What's happening? Is this a class feature? Like, what is this in the actual context of the tabletop? Like, what is happening? I was very confused.
I feel like it's like a pact of vengeance or something.
I don't know. He's just a fighter. He's a fighter that uses guns. Because you can look up their characters on the wiki, and he's just a fighter. And I was like, how? What is this then?
I think that's really interesting.
Zone B.
I like
You
when
have zone advantage.
Matt specifically does that.
Yeah.
I feel like they all get
Zone B lost.
some shit for being like kind of commercialized, but I think it's like general impact. It's like made people more aware of TTRPGs one way or another,
Oh yeah. And I feel like
and I find them entertaining.
it's great writing. They're great players. They get into their characters. It's how ideally you want D&D to be played for the most part. I also like that there's compilations on YouTube of Laura Bailey just leaving award shows that she's actually up for awards on to come play the D&D game that they're filming.
Your enemy can't kill if they
Like, there was one where she came, and they're like, oh, everyone's, like, cheering for her because she's dressed so nice for the award show. And, like, so did you win? And she's like, I don't know, my category hasn't gone up yet. And they're like, why are you here?
1 minute. You have this.
She would just rather play D&D.
You captured Zone B. You have advantage.
Go.
That's really funny.
Zone A lost.
Oh,
I'm excited for the D&D live stream when we can get it going. It'll be interesting to see how it goes because I know that my players like and like most of them care about RP, but I know that like a lot of them also like to power game and build the characters out to mechanics that they want rather than have RP reasons for it.
Zone advantage is yours.
gotcha.
Which, as I was discussing with Sonic, we think is bad.
10 seconds.
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
I want to dip 2 levels into Rogue so that I can have uncanny dodge, and it's like, bro. No.
Victory.
How would you be, what gives you those Rogue levels? How would you learn Rogue?
Your victory gives the city hope.
You can't just
Guardians.
do it. You have to have a reason.
I would agree. I feel like if you can bake it in, like multi-classing into your character, it's a really cool way of like
Yeah.
diversifying. But
Yeah.
like
You just need to be able
dipping
to do
in
it.
general is like,
Distasteful.
well, yeah, you just do it for the stats and stuff, which
Yeah.
is fine. And like, if I want to respect why people like the game, but there are other games that like are made for that.
Yeah.
And a role-playing game is not really
Like video games. You can just go play video games and do
Just go play
exactly
video
that.
Yeah, and you actually can't cheat as much as you do in D&D.
Yeah, I think, and like, I apologize because like the uncanny dodge thing is a specific thing that one of my players wants to do, and I don't mean to keep using an example to call him out. It's literally the only example I can come up with off the top of my head, and it's a very common example. People dip into rogue for sneak attack or uncanny dodge all the time.
Yeah.
Just like people dip into monk so that they can take monk feats. But it's just like, like if you want to split your character into two classes completely, like 10 and 10, and you have like a reason for like why you're doing both of them, that's cool. That's making your character different, you know? But it's like, if you're going like 5 different classes because you want certain mechanics from different classes, then it's just like, why? Like, I get it mechanically why, but like, how can your character possibly know how to do all of these things? How are they that talented? Tell me. Gonna turn off the stream here.